Well, black farmers nationwide are continuing to experience financial pressure, especially on the heels of the pandemic. The farmers are drowning under loan payments and face losing their farms. Some say they have even been forced to sell off equipment to make ends meet.
Now, in 2021, there was somewhat of a silver lining that promised federal relief. The Emergency Relief for Farmers of Color Act was passed alongside the American Rescue Plan and was positioned to close discrimination gaps among farmers. Disadvantaged farmers of color were promised a total of $4 billion that's to come in the form of debt forgiveness. But many farmers have not received that aid. And with the new Inflation Reduction Act, farmers are now subjected to significantly reduced funding. Not to mention, the bill also removed language allowing black farmers to erase their USDA loans. In the revised Inflation Reduction Act, $3.1 billion were allocated to distressed borrowers and another $3.2 billion for farmers who've experienced discrimination from the USDA. Race has been eliminated as a criterion for eligibility. Very important fine print there. Joining us now is the president of the National Black Farmers Association, John Boyd. He is joining us from Boynton, Virginia. Thank you for chatting with us today. It's been more than a year since relief was promised. Many farmers have yet to receive the funding they desperately need. Update us on that and how the Inflation Reduction Act is aiming to help.
Well, yes, basically we had debt relief for 14,000 plus farmers of color. And we've been waiting over a year for that, and we were sued in federal court by white farmers. And now the administration, the president has went back on his word to help black farmers and repealed that language that should have helped black and other farmers of color. And now they're saying that we're going to have some sort of proof in order to take part in the discrimination part of it. And also now they're saying for farmers that are distressed, and that could be any farmer, black, white, or so be it. So here we've been waiting for all of this time. We have some of the highest inflation that we're dealing with farmers, and also the highest input costs in history for farmers. And now we're being told we're going to have to wait some more for USDA to put in some sort of process that we don't know what it's going to look like and how it's going to affect us. And meanwhile, we have aid for everybody in the world. We have $50 billion for Ukraine. We have $100 million made swiftly that went out to Ukraine farmers. And not a dime has went out to our nation's black farmers. And something's terribly wrong with that picture. And we can do better than that in this country. So the president hasn't had the meeting that he committed to that I spoke to you about over a year ago. And then Senator Schumer said he would work with myself to come up with language for a farm moratorium. So now we have 11,000 farmers that are more than 90 days delinquent at the United States Department of Agriculture. And as they repeal this language, it opens up all of those farmers for farm foreclosure. We have farmers that went out and made commitments based on this debt relief. So we have a broken contract between the black farmers and the farmers of color and the United States Department of Agriculture. And we need more clarity from the president and his administration and Chuck Schumer on how he's going to help me stop the farm foreclosures.
So, John, a moment ago, you mentioned these legal actions. Just to reiterate, so the revisions to the 2022 Inflation Reduction Act are coming after lawsuits were filed against the Emergency Relief for Farmers of Color Act for reverse discrimination. Now, do you expect any further reductions as those legal actions play out?
Well, we were in court fighting these measures. And, you know, white farmers were the ones who were getting debt relief with ease. So I want to, for the people that are watching this, I want to explain what debt relief is. White farmers have been getting debt relief for many, many decades. And I've been asking to receive debt relief from Congress and 2 previous lawsuits for over 3 decades. So this is not a new loan request that excludes white farmers, and there's nothing constitutionally wrong with addressing discrimination and racism in this country, the way that white farmers have portrayed that. And I would challenge them to show me where they've been discriminated against in this country when they've received all of the aid that's been going out for decades. And it's people like black farmers and other farmers of color who did not get the debt relief. And now we're being told again, we're going to have to rely on USDA at the secretary's discretion to set up a process by means where we may or may not get the help. So we had 120% debt relief guaranteed under the previous bill, and now we traded in for something where the secretary discretion, where he could write down a portion of it or help a farmer with a lower interest rate. That's not a good deal for America's farmers who've been waiting 30 years for this debt relief.
As you point out, so many farmers in a perilous situation right now economically. We're going to continue to follow it. John Boyd, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, John.
Thank you for having me.